Hello MennoNerds, it's Will and I invite you to label me. Have a look. Feel free to assign whatever labels to me that you like. I can probably help fill in the blanks if you, depending on how similar to me that you are, you might find it easier or more difficult. You might be assigning positive or negative characteristics. Based on the fact that I am a Christian pastor, male, white, relatively traditional upbringing, you'd probably think that I might be a little bit misogynistic, homophobic, probably. In my theology, there might be some remnant of colonialism or white supremacy, patriarchy. All of these things might be on your radar when you're talking to me. You might have a reason to believe that based on your own experiences. Now, I could try within the course of this 4-minute video, I've already used up one of them, to convince you that I'm not any of those things. But I would likely fail. And I would probably have wasted all of that energy doing so. Now, if I could sort of create a parable or a metaphor, sometimes I go for a walk late at night, and every now and then I see someone else coming from the other direction, and from time to time it's a woman walking by herself. Now, she is probably doing the same thing, and probably has a good reason to look at me and evaluate what labels she's going to give, in the same way that I go through the same process when I see someone else coming. If I have any reason to believe that there's some threat or intimidation, I will be ready to respond. Now, I could walk up to her and explain to her rationally why I am not going to take advantage of her or rob her or assault her or intimidate her with my presence. And yet, by working hard to do that, I might in fact actually raise her suspicion level rather than dropping it. Now, I'm not wanting to enforce an opinion on people outside of sort of my group, but if your story sounds a little bit like mine, I really don't think that you're going to get very far by removing labels from yourself. There are really two reasons why people like me become uncomfortable with labels. One is because that we might be bringing on shame or embarrassment or academic, theological, cultural legacies onto ourselves that we're not comfortable with. The other is that we feel that in some ways we are so much more than those labels can put on us, and the labels that somebody might give us might not fully encapsulate the specialness that we inherently feel about ourselves. I'm just interjecting here to clarify that there are a lot of damaging labels assigned to people based on age, race, gender, lifestyle orientation that we can't control, and we are right to fight against those. But the other ones, we can probably let them slide. If you're part of the first group, let me be the first to tell you, you probably deserve more of that legacy than you think you do. And if you're part of the second group, sorry to say, you're probably not as special as you think you are either. It's fine if you want to rationalize and explain why a particular label doesn't fit you, or why this other one does a little bit but not all the way. That's fine. Somebody might ask and you can tell them. But the challenge isn't to explain a label away. The challenge is to live out the label that you want, live out the legacy that you want, because the names that are given to you aren't going to matter.